Renovations will be happening to the alumni and Lankenau residential halls.
And the visitation policy has changed for students living in the dorms and apartments.
Now, it's been a pretty sunny day in Valpo today, but those spring-like temperatures will be sticking around a little while longer.
We have that and more. This edition of 15 News at 5 starts right now. Thank you for joining us 15 News at 5. I'm Alexa Minton.
And I'm Nick Rakowski. During the summer, the first floors of alumni and Lankenau halls are going to be renovated. These renovations have been in the works for a while, according to ResLife. However, the COVID-19 pandemic has delayed the renovations. The first floors will be opened up with an updated entrance and front desk. There will be more spaces for RA programs, relaxing, or studying. Pictures of the renovation plans can be found on the Alumni and Lankenau Residential Hall websites. The renovation for Lankenau Hall will begin at the end of the semester, while Alumni's renovations will begin in late May or early June.
Student Senate and Student Life have made a recent change to the visitation policy and the dorms. The policy's gender-specific language has been removed, and students are allowed to host overnight students of the opposite gender. Students will have to consent of their roommates and registered with the guest with Residential Life at least 24 hours in advance. Overnight guests will not be allowed to spend more than 3 nights consecutively or 5 nights per semester. Additionally, this change will only affect the dorms and apartments. The sorority housing complex will continue to operate under the current policy due to national organization policies. This new policy will be implemented after COVID restrictions have been lifted.
This past Saturday, Valpo Dance Marathon hosted their 9th annual event. Because of the pandemic, it was a little different this year. It took place outside on the West Lawn with dancers assigned to time slots to comply with campus COVID guidelines. Despite the differences, Dance Marathon raised over $72,000 for the Ann and Robert H. Lurie Children's Hospital of Chicago.
Virtual Source will be taking place Thursday, April 29th. Sessions will be taking place from morning till evening, with students being able to give presentations, present traditional posters, or show artwork, or give an artistic performance. More than 170 students presented virtually last year, and the university is hopeful that more will present this year. So show up and see what students have been working on.
Well, this week's poll is out. What is your favorite ice cream flavor? Is it anything chocolate, classic vanilla, fruity flavors, or caramel? Head on over to our Twitter page after the broadcast to cast your vote. We have 15's weather Heather Bricka in the studio. So Heather, how long will these cooler temperatures last for, and will we be able to have ice cream anytime soon?
Well, we can certainly have ice cream, but the cool temperatures are going to be sticking around a little while longer with potential snow in the forecast for next week. But that sun is going to be sticking around our area just a little while longer, which is nice to see, especially when it's getting a little chilly out. Looking at the temperatures for right now, Valpo is sitting at a cool 51 degrees. .46 in Gary and 54 in Romeoville. Now, these temperatures are going to be staying just a little bit the same, a little bit throughout the forecast for the next few weeks or so. And we are seeing the radar is pretty quiet right now. Nothing really going on in our area. As we zoom out into the U.S. view, we can see that the only real weather that's going on is over in Rapid City, where they're seeing some freezing rain and even snow. Wind speeds right now, we're at a moderate 9 miles per hour in Valpo, a little bit windy out to our west in Rockford. As far as our future temperatures go, I'll have more on that later in the forecast.
Thanks, Heather. Britain's Prince Philip has died.
And an eruption has occurred on St. Vincent. Stick with us. Britain's Prince Philip has died. The 99-year-old was the husband of Queen Elizabeth and the father of Prince Charles, Princess Anne, Prince Andrew, and Prince Edward. Nadia Romero has more on his life.
The Duke of Edinburgh was born as the Prince of Greece and Denmark in 1921. His family fled to Paris when he was an infant after they were overthrown from power. 8 years later, Philip was sent to England to be raised by his grandmother and uncle. He served in the British Royal Navy from 1939 to 1953 and fought in World War II. The Queen and Prince Philip met before the Second World War when he was a young naval cadet. The couple married in 1947.
I was always struck by how much he was committed to supporting the Queen on every occasion, whether it was a happy one or a more difficult task with members of the family or sad occasion. But he was always there.
During his time with the Royal Air Force, he logged almost 6,000 flight hours in 59 different types of aircraft over 4 decades. Famous for his energy, the Duke's health inevitably deteriorated as he headed into old age. In the summer of 2017, Prince Philip effectively announced his retirement, saying he would give up official royal duties. Prince Philip was the oldest serving royal consort. He was known for his love of painting, horses, flying, sailing, and environmental conservation. Prince Philip, serviceman, campaigner, great-grandfather, and a beloved husband. I'm Nadia Romero reporting.
Prince Philip would have turned 100 years old June 10th.
A massive power outage has hit the Caribbean island of St. Vincent, following back-to-back volcanic explosions on Friday. For days, huge amounts of ash have been falling on the island, clouding the sky and posing some severe health risks to the residents there. St. Vincent's Prime Minister has said it could take 4 months for life to return to normal on the island.
An architect in Italy is betting the future of home building uses both the newest technology and the oldest materials. Mario Cucinella has completed a prototype for the first 3D printed home made from clay. It's located in the small town of Massa Lombarda. The home, called Tecla, is built from soil found at the site, mixed with water, fibers from rice husks, and a binder. The 654 square foot twin circular design was printed layer by layer using an intricate lattice work pattern. It includes a living area, a bedroom, and a bathroom. The prototype is currently undergoing structural and thermal performance testing. It's an essential step before the project can be scaled. Cucinella believes this process can be replicated in different parts of the world using whatever local materials are available. Well, coming after the break, Heather Bricka will have your full forecast.
And we'll take a look at this past week's Valpo and national sports. Stick with us.
You can see right now the live shot over Valparaiso. It is nice blue skies and it's pretty warm and sunny out today. Now those cool temperatures that are spring-like temperatures are going to continue on through the week with some sun. It's going to be a pretty dry week ahead of us until that snow appears back in our forecast late Monday into Tuesday. Now currently in Valparaiso we are sitting at 50 degrees, 9-mile-per-hour winds, and a little bit of sun. Now the radar pretty much shows that we don't have a whole lot going on. As far as the rest of the Midwest goes, it's pretty quiet over there. We do have some showers over by the Wichita area and down south. Now the current temperatures for our area: 50 in Valpo, 46 in Gary, and 51 up in Chicago. Now those temperatures are going to stick around pretty much the same for the rest of the week. Dew point right now is 35. It's not too moist, but it's also not too dry outside, and 33 in Rockford. Future temperatures, we're going to be dipping down a little bit colder overnight for the next few days. It's going to hit 39 by Friday evening, 40 in Gary, and 40 over in Lansing. Now by Saturday, those temperatures are going to get up a little bit more to 44 degrees, 41 in Gary, and 43 up in DeKalb. So we are going to be seeing more and more cooler temperatures. The blue is going to come right back down into our area again, going to be flirting with close to freezing temperatures: 36 in Valpo, 36 in Lansing, and 32 up in Romeoville. And by Sunday evening or afternoon, we're going to hit high 52. So we are going to warm up just a little bit, but those low temperatures are going to feel more like cooler overnight hours. Now future radar, we're really going to see just a few clouds here and there until our really chance of big precip coming is going to be over Monday night hours into Tuesday morning. So as soon as those temperatures cool down, that will dictate if that rain will turn into snow for us here. So for right now, tomorrow we are looking at a little bit windy weather for us, high of 50s for the rest of the week. Monday we are going to get up into 62, and by Tuesday we are going to drop down to 36 degrees, and we might see chances of those snow showers here.
Thanks, Heather. I love seeing those 50-degree temperatures, but I'm not sure what to think about the snow. What are you thinking?
Yeah, you said the S word, and I thought we were done with that for the rest of the year, but I guess you might see later in the forecast. I don't like snow. I thought we were done with snow. We hit 80 degrees a couple weeks ago, and now we have to deal with snow again, so.
We can never tell. After the break, we'll have a recap of this past week's sports.
Football was in action twice in the past 2 weeks, with the first game at Drake on the 3rd of April. The game started with the first half being a defensive game, as no teams were able to score in the first half, with little yardage gained on both sides. The defensive hold would be broken in the third quarter with a field goal. Drake would try to answer with a 59-yard drive, but would miss a 29-yard field goal. Early in the fourth quarter, Valpo's offense would strike again with a 14-yard touchdown run by Robert Washington. Drake would follow with a touchdown of their own the next drive. Valpo's defense would hold strong for the rest of the game and not allow Drake to score again. This is Valpo's first win in history at Drake and the first win against Drake since 2003. Valpo was back in action this past Saturday at Morehead State. Valpo's offense would stall for part of the first half while Morehead State put up 21 points by 12 minutes left in the second quarter. Valpo would then score 2 touchdowns by Lawson and Washington by the end of the second quarter to be down only 21-14 at the half. Valpo's offense would not quiet down in the third quarter, as they would have another touchdown run by Lawson with just over 9.5 minutes to play, bringing the score to a tied of 21-21. Morehead State would not have an answer until the fourth quarter, where they would score a passing touchdown with 8.5 minutes left to play in the game. Down 28-21, Valpo looked to tie the game. Valpo's next drive would bring them to the red zone. However, the drive would stall out, and with 4.5 minutes remaining, Valpo would tack on a field goal to make the score 28-24. Valpo would get the ball back with 90 yards to go, but Morehead State would force a late turnover to seal the victory. Valpo's next and final home game is this Saturday at Brownfield against San Diego. Women's soccer was in action this week with the start of the Missouri Valley Conference. Valpo would start the tournament at home against Evansville this past Sunday. The match would be a stalemate for all of the regular and extra time, as both goalies did not allow a single goal. The match would then go into a penalty kick tiebreaker to decide the winner. Valpo would win in penalty kicks 5-4 to advance to the conference semifinals for the first time in program history. For the first time in over 50 years, NASCAR returned to dirt. This time, the dirt racetrack was one that is usually seen as a cement track, and the track was Bristol International Speedway. Both the trucks and Cup would run the dirt track. However, Mother Nature said otherwise. Record-breaking rain moved into the area Saturday and Sunday, forcing the postponement of the much-anticipated race until Monday. Martin Truex Jr. would dominate for most of the truck race, capturing his first-ever Truck Series win and making him a new favorite to win the Cup race. Other favorites for the race included dirt track stars like Christopher Bell and Kyle Larson. The race would be run differently, as every 50 laps, teams would be able to change tires and make adjustments to their cars accordingly. Throughout the race, there were many surprises, like Daniel Suarez making to the front and holding the lead for a short while, along with a couple accidents, including when favorites Christopher Bell and Kyle Larson became tangled up, ending Bell's day. Dust would be a factor, as NASCAR would change the restarts, where making a single-file restart format. Towards the end of the race, Joey Logano would prove to be the one to capture the first dirt race win in over 50 years, and has already been announced Bristol will once again be dirt for the spring 2020 race. The first major of the season occurred at the beloved Augusta National this past weekend. Dustin Johnson was looking to repeat his first career Masters win in November, and other favorites like Justin Thomas and Xander Schauffele were looking to get their hands on the coveted green jacket. Conditions would prove to be difficult over the course of the first round, as scores averaged around a 74-75 throughout the field. However, Justin Rose would go 8 under in his final 11 holes to hold the lead at 7 under at the end of round 1. The second round conditions would prove to be quite the same, There were not many high scorers, and leader Justin Rose would finish at even par for the day, but hold onto the lead by just a stroke. Notable players to miss the cut were defending champion Dustin Johnson and Brooks Koepka. Round 3 started much as the same as the previous 2 rounds, but a line of thunderstorms halfway through the round changed the course for a couple players, most notably Hideki Matsuyama, who would take the back 9 of his round by storm and finish the day sitting atop the leaderboard at 11 under. The final round of the Masters saw everyone chasing one man, Hideki. Through the first 9 holes, Matsuyama would only continue to increase his lead as no one was able to keep up with him. A late push with 4 straight birdies by Xander Schauffele would cut down Matsuyama's lead to 2. However, the 16th hole proved to be disastrous for Xander as he would go into the water and triple bogey the hole. This would about seal the deal for Matsuyama as he is the first player from Japan to win the Masters, and this is also his first career major victory. And another note to talk about is the women's soccer played last night and are moving on to the championships against Loyola. So
yay, that's so exciting. Valpo sports have been doing really good recently.
They have, and football this weekend's looking to have a winning season.
That's exciting.
Hopefully they can do that over season favorite San Diego, so we'll have to see about that.
We'd love to see it. Go Valpo.
Yes.
Well, thanks, Nick. After the break, I will have a final look with Heather at the weather.
Well, aside from the little chance of snow showers or rain in Monday night and into Tuesday, it looks like it's going to be shaping up to be a pretty nice week ahead of us. Pretty dry, sunny, and high of 55 degrees for the most part. So it's pretty nice to see that sun.
Yeah, we'd love to see some sunshine. Thanks, Heather, but I have a question for you. What is your favorite dessert?
I love cookies, so the cookies are the death of me, and funfetti cookies are amazing. So if it has to come down to that, I'm not a huge cake fan, so.
We'll see. I'm a huge cheesecake fan, so
Gotcha.
I've been growing up on cheesecake. And all for my Michigan fans, Sanders, Bumpy Cake, you know who I'm talking about and what I'm talking about, so.
Awesome. If you guys have questions for us, send it our way on Facebook and Twitter, and we might answer it on the air. You can send screenshots of forums, questions, or things you're looking to ask that you have yourself. From all of us here at VUTV, thank you so much for joining. We'll see you next Thursday on 15 News.